Welcome back, everyone, and it's that time again to go balls deep! Yes, it really is time. I have returned to the ABD crew after a nice week-long break of doing absolutely nothing. You lie! You stressed out this whole week because you couldn't get out of work mode. Don't lie to these people. Jeez, do you really gotta be so harsh about it? Wait, did I just slap myself?
Yes.
Anyway, I'm back, and I've got some sweet Black Clover content for you to sink your teeth into. Today, we'll be talking about the latest Black Clover chapter. Yeah, week late. Shut up. And we're also going to be talking about the future abilities Yuno could, and most likely will, achieve through his Spirit Dive transformation, their inspirations, and how much more powerful this will all make him. This is also a great way to extend the manga and let us know that it may not end as soon as even I thought it might. If you happen to not know, I do YouTube as well, shameless plug, and I did a video where I gave all my reasoning as to why I believe Black Clover may end sooner than we all want it to. In that video, I said that I hope I look very stupid for making it, and that it goes on much longer than it was looking like. Well, the very things that we're going to be talking about in today's video could potentially make that happen. So, that's very good news, and you should stick around for it. But, before we dive into that, if you're new here, we cover Black Clover on at least a weekly basis, but sometimes more. So if you'll want to see more of that, including both our past videos and our future content, as well as our balls deep predictions and analysis, then like this video, subscribe, let us know what other kinds of Black Clover videos you'd like to see, and slam that notification bell so you never miss any of our future videos. Now, we're gonna start off light and go over the events of this week's chapter, so buckle up as we go. Okay, you know what? Come here, you little. Okie dokie, so chapter 277 starts naturally where 276 left off, with Yuno having struck Zenon with his newest transformation. Hopefully only the latest of many to come. Now, not gonna lie, this chapter surprised me. I really thought it was gonna take a turn from the very beginning and show Zenon entering his 60 or 70% form, but no, apparently that didn't happen. No, Zenon just kinda stands there, bleeding and looking pathetic in a way that I honestly wasn't expecting. Now, I've expressed my issues with this in the last chapter review, but I feel I might have been a little too harsh. Yes, Yuno isn't exactly captain level, or at least it hasn't been confirmed, but he does have the wind spirit, which is where this new strength came from, as it's not exactly his, and it comes from an outside element. So, Yuno may not be captain level, but who's to say Bell doesn't make him capable of using that level of power? This is something I didn't think about at the time, mostly because I was rushing to get everything together and get the video made, you know, since I'm the Wizard King.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Sorry. Acting Wizard King. But someday I will become the—
You're fired! Oh, right. You're unfired. I need you. Come here.
Anyway, hopping right back into the chapter, Langris feels a sudden sense of confidence, thinking to himself they could actually beat Zenon, stop the glyph off, and save Yami. Well, okay, it says Captain Vengeance, but come on, Yami's the one that matters, right? I mean, he is the one we all simp for. We then transition to another fight that's still beginning, which appears to be between Charlotte, Rill, and Vanica. And that may not seem like the most fitting pair of knights to take her on, but it actually does make sense, considering they both trained in the Heart Kingdom, and Vanica is the one who attacked it. So naturally, they would want to take her down, plus I'd rather she fight Vanica than Dante or Zenon, because then her personal motivations for fighting would simply be, you hurt Yami, or you took my Yami away. And caring for Yami is often the only character trait she shows, so it's nice to see her fighting for a different reason for once. I mean, not that I don't get it. I mean, if Yami was real, I think we'd all kind of be like Charlotte, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, Vanica sounds disappointed that Noelle-chan didn't come back to get revenge, but she looks like she's still open to another fight, that is if they can defeat her new goons who— wait a minute, isn't that—
So, my eyes are correct.
they really are using the dead diamond soldiers that Zenon took out back in chapter 227. Looks like these two are generals, and their bodies appear to be manipulated by a spell that animates their corpses, allowing them to be under Vanica's control, and she's dubbed them the 8 Insignias, which I can only assume means there are 6 more somewhere, because we only see 2 this chapter. So, Charlotte gets herself ready with her corpse hunting Briar Tree spell, and the generals also charge up their own magic, where it seems both sides are going to clash. Vanica comments that she put a powerful curse on them, and Morris made strong renovations, all to ensure that these insignias would be as powerful as they can be. The generals fire off their attacks, but Charlotte doesn't seem to move.
Bitch, are you dumb?
Pardon me?
Are you dumb?
I think she's dumb. I think she's dumb.
Suddenly, Rill jumps in with a new spell we've never seen before called Wave of Steron, Mischief of Cyrano, which counters the Diamond Mage's power. Anyway, she mentions the slight idea that Yami isn't the absolute #1 GOAT of the manga, and this is where I get really mad. What is it with characters hating Yami? First, Noct hates him, then Yuno doesn't care about him, although that's totally okay, she can do whatever she wants because she's total perfection, and then Vanica doesn't think he's all that? Yami is the mother flipping GOAT! Anyway, Charlotte gets that look in her eye and then begins thinking back to her time training in the Heart Kingdom. She thinks about how she learned their mana method and how she showed astounding results very early on, and remembers how she relied on the curse stuck in her magic very heavily and thought that was what she was supposed to do, but that she was wrong. While training, she realized the curse she was stuck with was merely a shackle, keeping her from using her magic to its full potential. Once she mastered the mana method to the extreme, she realized how to fully utilize her magic to its maximum. She then thinks back to what Dorothy once told her, that Magicula was the origin point for any and all curses in existence, and because they were the caster of Charlotte's curse, she was able to become stronger despite it. She then also activates a new, never-before-seen spell called Paradise of the Blue Briar, which creates a giant mess of thorns and briars that envelop the Diamond Generals. This magic also appears to be able to absorb the curses of her enemies, and the stronger the curse, the bigger and more beautiful the flower that blooms. It seems that her briars were able to grow extra well with the help of Rill's magic, as the elements he painted were land and water, which naturally helps plants grow. With that, the 2 Diamond Generals' bodies are no longer being used by the likes of the Spade Nation, at least not for the time being. Vanica cannot believe the curse she put on her got weaker, and that she was able to control that curse and use it to her advantage. She's never known anyone in existence that was capable of such things, which of course only excites the devil within. Charlotte says that everything she's done up to this point as a captain has served as nourishment for her to evolve her magic and how she uses it. And on one hand, she has the blue briar that she's so used to using, while on the other, she has the red briar that she had to begin with. She then throws a good old-fashioned dose of true briar magic at her opponents, and this absolutely devastates the corpses that should be peacefully sleeping, if we're being honest. She then reveals a new transformation of her own called Briar Queen, and declares that she can now control both the red and blue briars simultaneously. Now, it's not quite as flashy or as cool as Yuno and Goddess Leona's new power-ups, but it is a whole heck of a lot more meaningful, as this showcases her journey to achieve freedom from the burden of her curse. And, because of course she does, she has Yami in the back of her mind, thinking that once she saves him, she'll show him the stronger her. You go, Charlotte! Prove to your man how awesome you are! However, she might have made a terrible mistake, as both Vanica and Magicula have become too excited to contain themselves any longer, and leap at the chance to fight their perfect opponent. But Charlotte's just kinda like,
Psych! You thought!
her briars restrict Vanica's movements, and she can't escape them, because the more powerful the curse of the enemy, the tighter the briar's grip. She tells Vanica she isn't fighting her, and that by being conceited, careless, excited, and not being alert, she got herself into this predicament, and that she's tired of women like her. She then fully traps Vanica and her devilish counterpart inside her magic without letting her have her fun. So, that's how the 277th weekly dose of Black Clover epicness ended, but it's not how this video ends. In fact, we haven't even begun to go deep. That was just the warm-up. We started off easy because I've been gone. But that's all over because...
It's time to
Go balls deep into some Japanese cartoons.
So, now that that we finish going into Charlotte's transformation, I must use my balls-deep prediction magic to look into the future and spoil his future evolutions for you.
Shut your stupid.
So first off, I believe that his next evolution will have something to do with Notice and Urian, two more of the Anemoi, the four Titan gods of the four winds, or four seasons. Now, naturally, because of everything we know, it would make sense to give Yuno different abilities inspired by all four Anemoi. And we already know this is going to be the case since he already has two abilities directly inspired by them. One of them being his new Spirit Dive transformation, and the other being Spirit of Zephyr, the sword he unlocked in the fight against Zagreus. So, of course, Tabata is going to continue the trend and give Yuno two more power-up based on the other two wins. And although they may not be straight-up transformation, they will most likely correlate with each other. Now, before we go further into Yuno's power, though, let's talk about the Anemoi and what they are exactly. All four of them come from Greek mythology, and although they're all lords of their own wind, or season, they're all sons of Eos, and serve the Aeolus. Eos was the god of dawn, Straeus was the god of dusk, and their children each represented a different directional wind between north, south, east, and west. Zephyrus was the most commonly featured in mythology, hence why it was the first of the four Anemoi-inspired abilities Yuno received, while the others only possessed a few characteristics outside of the wind they were in control of. Boreas would appear sometime in the myths, but demigods would rather look to Zephyrus for help, which is why Tabata was like, "Come on man, let me show you some love, come be in my manga." The various abilities Yuno has displayed so far all correlate with the Sons of Eos, such as moving at incredible speeds like he did with Zenon, having absolute authority over his wind spirit and all of his magic, just like the Anemoi had control over their respective winds, and the Anemoi all had control over their individual seasons, like Boreas had control over all things winter, which is also very fitting considering Yuno is the Spade Nation prince and essentially has a right to control the country where it's always winter. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Young from Twitter. He explained how Yuno was able to strike Zenon the way he did, and how it made sense in a very simple way, so thank you very much, you're helping us a lot with this video. Also, we have Twitter, so you can follow Otto here at Anime Balls Deep, as well as myself at It's Kaiba Y'all. Oh yeah, Sid's got it too. By following us, you're allowing yourself to be on the same page as the rest of the ABD community. Anyway, the simple fact that there are four Anemoi and Yuno's already got the power of two of them means he will absolutely get more power from the other two Anemoi. That's just logic, unless, Tabata decides to ditch the whole concept after Boreas, which is not likely. But there's also the fact that his crown is complete instead of a mere half, meaning he's becoming more and more like a king, which is appropriate because, he's supposed to be the king of the Spade Nation and king of all the wind. We also can't forget his new weapon, which is the same as the weapons on Zenon's grimoire, but also has a clover on, representing his ties and identity being found in the Clover Kingdom, meaning he belongs in two different places, and this may mean he really has to choose between one or the other. But it appears as though he may try to do both, however, as his dream is still to be the Wizard King, but injustice is everywhere, not just in the Spade or Clover. So maybe he could look over all the different nations, who knows? Finally, since Tabata is taking so much inspiration from Greek mythology, and we know that the different kingdoms are all involved in this war, each representing a different kind of season and environment, it's all just more foreshadowing of what's to come, and we all can't wait to see what Tabata's got in store. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. If you want to see more content like this, once again, be sure to like this video, comment down below what you'd like us to cover, subscribe, and slam that notification bell. With that, I'll see you next time.